Well, good morning, everyone. How are you guys all doing? I am hanging in there. I got to fill you in a little bit what's all been going on. It has been a whirlwind since my Cozy Craft Retreat. Once that was over, I had company for a few extra days, which was really fun because I don't get a lot of downtime with her. So it was fun to have her. And I'm not kidding, the night that, or let's see, I brought her back to the airport in the morning, and that night my nose started dripping and I got a big fat cold with a sore throat and everything. And so I don't know, I think my body just let down and said, okay, you can get sick now, everything's over. So anyway, I've been battling a cold for about 2 weeks now, but I feel like I'm on the mend. And then I have my regular stamp club in my home shortly after that. And then I went from that to babysitting for a long weekend. They had school only a half a day, and then I had let's see, half a day Thursday, then all day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And my husband was out of town as well. And my local grandkids, there's 4 of them. So I had my hands full, but we sure had fun. But I'm ready to take about a week-long snooze now. So that brings us up to today. And I'm just so anxious to get back in my craft room and creating things, and a lot of our Christmas things are back in stock, so I'm really happy about that. That helps a lot, and we still have plenty of time to work on our Christmas projects. Before I share with you one of the Stamp Club projects we made this week, because it's just really fun and super fast and easy, and I can assure you you'll use this idea on many different things. But I wanted to share with you about the starter kit, and I haven't really talked a lot about that this month just because I've had so many other things going on. But I want to share with you that remember, this buying the starter kit doesn't mean that you have to hold classes or do videos like I do, or do anything other than you are buying all your products at a discount, and that is really a lot of savings for you. So if you want to sign up, you have until October 31st, which is next Thursday on Halloween. And the starter kit is, you pick out anything that you want in your kit, and it's only $99, but you get to choose a bonus amount this month because they're having a promotion. You get to choose $155 worth of products for only $99, plus you get free shipping on that. So you guys, that's almost half price when you count the shipping in there that you're getting free. All right, so I'm ready to start today's project. I'll turn the camera around and we will get started. The bundle we're going to use today is called Decorative Trees. And this is a really fun set because there's so many cute dies with this. Look at all the variety. You can have a large tree with plaid and snowflake, just lots of different cuts that can be made on this. This one is really cute too. Or you can make a mini tree. And at first when I got this, I thought, well, they have the big die for the large tree, and that one looks like this. And then I thought, well, why didn't they make a die for the smaller tree right here? And I kept thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this? Do I have to cut around it? But then I saw on some video, it's actually the same tree. And look at it, this is the same size as, all the way up to here. You just have to trim off that bottom little layer there. And then that will make the tree easy so you can die cut it. So I love that. That's very thoughtful to do that, because otherwise, we probably would have had to have another die. So anyway, that's how that works. And then the stamp set's really cute. It has some nice sayings, and it talks about trees with old Christmas trees. So we use this one at Cozy Craft Retreat as well. And I think, I'm going to go back and show you all the projects individually, because I kind of whipped through them in the video, but I will share those individually with you. All right, let's start with our paper. This is the paper that I have used the most of, mainly because it has all the traditional colors. And as you know, my theme was Grinch, so it has Grinch colors in it, especially with the Granny Apple green in there. So this is the paper that we used, and I want to share with you, how when we're trimming things and we get all these little pieces, some of these, like normally I don't save a piece that size, but because I use this so much, and for the retreat, I have a whole pack of just scraps this size and smaller. So I was looking at these thinking, I've got to come up with something where I don't just toss all these away. So let me share with you what I came up with. So we will take, this is called Take a Bow, by the way, and it is available. All right, so we are going to take, let's start with our card base first. I used garden green, and I just scored it at 4 1/4. On the long side, this is 8.5 by 5.5. Doesn't matter which way you fold it. Some people ask which side you fold it on after you score it. It really doesn't matter. It's going to fold nicely either way. And I have little pieces here from some die cutting that I did. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is set that aside. I made a little pattern just because I didn't wanna waste all this paper. This is just scrap cardstock, and this is 3.5 inches this way by 2.5 inches this way. And then I just cut it at an angle to kind of make it look like a triangle. And the way that I got that shape was I wanted it to fit within this, because I'm gonna put some strips on here, and I did not want, I didn't want all this wasted space up here to be filled with paper, because it's not even gonna be shown. The only parts that are gonna be shown are, you know, what falls in this area. So for this, you are definitely going to need your silicone mat. Let me grab mine really quick. And we are going to set this here. Then we're gonna take some, I used liquid glue. You can use your Snail Plus or regular, and or multi-purpose liquid glue, and just go all the way around the edges. Then, oh, by the way, I'm an affiliate for this. Look at how this is so nice to put your glue out. It comes in a really fine tip. There's also a larger tip if you prefer, but I like the fine tip. And you can find the link. It's made by My Sweet Petunia, and it's just a really handy thing because you don't have to press very hard to get the glue out. Okay, so we have glue all around here. Then I'm going to take all these little strips that I cut, and I didn't measure them or anything. They are just random sizes, and I'm going to pick maybe the widest one and go like about halfway in the middle at an angle and just glue that down. And now we are just going to start building above these strips and below it, and just have them line up edge to edge here. And because we put glue all around the perimeter, you know, you don't have to keep adding glue and, you know, picking up your glue again. It just goes on really fast and easy. And we're just going to keep going here. And I pre-cut all these, but like I said, you really don't have to do any measuring. Just start cutting strips. A lot of these were already cut into strips. And then let's work down from here. Ooh, a stripe against a stripe. I think I'm going to mix that up, and we're going to go polka dot so we don't get dizzy looking at this. All right, we'll do a green one. This one might not even be seen, but I'm going to add one more strip in case it is seen. Let's see, we'll go with a polka dot down here. All right, now we are going to flip this over, and whoops, I guess I didn't get enough glue on the tip, but like I said, this one probably won't even be seen anyway, but just in case it is. Let's see if I can get it to come out there. All right. All right, now let's flip. And what we're going to do is just take your paper snips. I'm going to use my larger one because I can cut with less effort here because it's larger. I sure wish we sold these scissors still. This used to be a ribbon scissors, but I bought one to use on paper and one to use just on ribbon or fabric. Whoops, they are falling off. Let me redo that one. Well, you know what? Let me see if it's even going to hit. It's not, so don't even worry about it. All right. Can you see what we're going to eventually do with this? What's fun about this one is you can think of all the seasons that we have and just all the fun things you could do. Well, actually, I shouldn't get ahead of myself. I'll show you after I complete this. But what we're going to do next is this is going to go flat on the card front. And let's see. I'm going to show you what I did before I got on camera here. I took a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of basic white cardstock, and I die cut that largest tree here, and I shifted it over to the left. And the reason I did that is because I'm going to be stamping up here, but I am going to emboss this, and I'm going to use the Painted Trees 3D embossing folder. And my team member / friend, she was so sweet and put these little labels on my embossing folder, because when you use this folder wrong, and the way you use it wrong is you put all the plates underneath it. If this hits the roller, this is why it starts bowing, and you don't want that to happen. This always happens at my retreat. So she had the idea, let's put this on here, and then hopefully it won't do it. But it looks like maybe it did it a few times because they shouldn't bow like that, but it's when you use it wrong that it bows. All right, so when you put this in the embossing folder, we're going to put it to the far right, as far over as you can go. And then we're going to emboss it like that. So hold tight while I go emboss this, and then I'll tell you our next step. Remember, for the 3D embossing folders, you are just going to put the the plate, the thicker plate underneath, and then you're gonna put your folder on, and then you need this gray plate on top, and that makes the perfect sandwich for this. All right, so let's take that out, and now you'll see how it left room that's flat here where we can stamp on it. And I'm gonna take one of the sentiments that is from this stamp set called Season's Greetings. It's very much stained, and I know that bothers some people, but you know what, it stamps the same way, so it really doesn't matter. For some reason, the reds and the purples seem to make it, you know, turn color and the dye gets in there, but it's not gonna matter. So we'll go hopefully straight here. And then we are ready to start building this on the card. I have one more step I want to do though. This is a 4 by, I'm guessing about 1 inch, and I'm just going to tear it about in half like this. And we're going to make just one little sweet layer of snow at the bottom. And it's going to fit perfectly on there. And we are going to use dimensionals on here. Let me grab some of these. And I think probably 3 will do it, just to both sides and then in the middle. Like this, and then just line up the bottom edges together. All right, now we're ready to put this on the card front. And if you want to add one more little detail to this, you can take your Wink of Stella. I love this. It just makes everything, you know, just steps it up a little bit. It's a small detail, but I'm trying to see if it's coming out. Hold on, I need to, well, let me show it to you. If it starts coming out, because this is dry, and I'm pretty sure there's some in here, I'm gonna grab my little silicone mat. You just squeeze here like this, and you'll see the barrel fill up. See how it comes out? Whoop, right there. And then you have some, and if that would have landed on here, it would be way too much. So I'm just gonna add it to here and give it some shine. And if you wanted to, you could even add a little bit to the trees here to make them glisten. We'll pretend like the snow just fell on it, just kind of scattered randomly. And like I said, it's a very small detail, but sometimes it's in the details that sets your cards apart from just, you know, not adding anything like that. So I know it's hard to see on film, but if you kind of tilt it in the light, you can see shimmer on there. All right, so let's move this aside. And the way that we're gonna mount this is, of course, we want this to be our little peek window to see behind this. So what you need to do is make sure that this little triangle piece is beneath here so that you can see all the different strips here. So once I have it placed where I want it, whoops, oh gosh, this keeps moving. Let's see here, just make sure the top is, gotta pull it down a little bit. Okay, see if I can remove this without moving this. And I think if we just lift one side and glue this one down, and then we're gonna turn it around and do the same thing on this side. I'll put it up here so I don't get it over where it needs to go, like that. All right, so this is flat on the front. Now we're gonna take that white piece, and for this one, we are going to use my foam strips, and I want this to be popped up even more than with just dimensionals because I want it to have a larger pop. By the way, that's my host code. If you want to order, please use my host code, and if you use the host code and your order is over $50, you will get a Stampin' Up! Treat in the mail from me and a thank you note, and that's my way of saying thank you so much for your order. Almost done here, and I'm going to put a couple more right beside the tree because this is where I really want it to pop up, right where the edge is, close to the paper. And you can just tear them, you can cut them if you want. And okay, I have a tiny bit left. I'll put a couple up here too. All right, so now we're ready to mount that on the front and just center that. Now, I was telling you, there's other ideas you can do. You could do the same thing with some fall colors and paper, and maybe cut a big leaf in the center with a saying up there, and then all your pretty fall colors. You could do this with a big heart and Valentine's Day and put Valentine paper beneath. You just pick a season and designer series paper, and this idea will work. All right, this time we're gonna even stamp on the inside. So we're gonna take a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of cardstock again, and this time we're gonna bring in Garden Green and Daffodil Delight. And I love the inside sentiment. Well, I guess you can use it any way you want, but today we're going to use it as an inside sentiment, and it says a very Merry Christmas. And I love that it's in a little tree shape. And then we'll just put a little star on the top here. And you know what? If you wanted, I think there is, I was going to say there's a little tree stump, but I guess there isn't. I was going to say, well, you could put a little stump on there, but there's a die that is that size that you could do. All right, so let's just put this on the inside now. And then we will have a completed card. You could even add some of your strips on the bottom of this piece if you want. You can go to town on all that designer series paper that you have. And this is what our club was this week. And there's our card. So I hope you enjoyed that. Very simple and just a great way, like I said, to use up the scraps that you accumulate over time. Thank you again. For those of you who live in Phoenix or Scottsdale area, I do classes in my home the second Monday of every month and the Wednesday that follows of the same week. Or I do an online card club. The deadline to sign up for that is the 10th of every month. So our next one will be November 10th, and I will soon be announcing the bundle that we're going to use. I haven't decided yet because I wait and see what's available when it's time to order. So watch for that. Thank you again. You guys have a great week, and we will see you next Tuesday morning. Bye-bye.